Good morning. So I'm just out here waiting for the birds, and my husband's making breakfast. And I just thought I would start thinking about sewing that. And somewhere I have embroidery thread. Okay, so I'm going to choose one of these. Now I know that the cover is kind of turning pink and less neutral, but it's kind of difficult also to have neutral and roses. But I think I'm doing it. So in the same vein as that, I like this. There's a lot of nice colors in here that would go. I'm thinking either this ivory, this brown. I really like this. It's like dusty rose. Oh, that's not long enough for anything. Oh, that's because that's out of a kit. Okay, we're not doing that. I'm not going to start trying to have something long enough that's just not long enough. Here we go. Sometimes the materials tell you what it's going to be. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to spritz this with water and hang it up so that it de-wrinkles a little. I moved here 3 years ago and I'm not sure if I brought my iron with me, and I haven't looked for it. So it's not an issue. That is not a priority. Ooh, there's something I just found that I can use somewhere. That I never knew what that was, and I still don't. I have these things too. But... Okay, so now the other thing, I was looking at this and I'm like, I think I'd like something lighter as my first page. So, not sure. I don't think I really have anything lighter here. Let me look in my coffee dye stash, or maybe something that didn't quite make it very dark. Maybe not. Maybe I want something that's a little blushy. A little blushy. I don't have anything like avocado paper. Look at that. Ooh, that might just create some interest for that first page. Let's try that. Oop, we got some birds out there. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just switch it out. See, that makes it a little less one note, if you will. Take a quick look. Most of this, most of the dyed stuff that I had was like all done in one day. I might use some of these. These are business cards that I was printing wine labels. I was trying to print wine labels on. And I can cut them and use them as little tags. Shop your stash, folks. Shop your stash. That's why you have a stash. So I was thinking, and you'll have to tell me what you think, but you remember I had these, and for me they were too precious to like break up. If I were to start a Ko-Fi shop, I wonder if any of you guys would be interested in, you know, just picking up some of these. Let me know what you think. I have these. I have bank deposits. I have receipts. I have invoices. I could probably figure out little bundles. I only ever opened a Ko-Fi account to get some of Seven Plaza's. She always has something free on there, and she has nice digitals, and so she is the reason I opened a Ko-Fi to shop. So what it is to have stuff there. I don't know. But, you know, it might help me move some things along that I really love, but can't necessarily bring myself to use. Look at this. Must have been like a little ribbon in there. Those two little holes. This paper's so nice. Look at it. Do they even make stuff like this anymore that you don't have to buy for crafting? I don't know. I haven't purchased a greeting card in I don't know how many years. When they started to get to be like $5, $6, and $7, I was pretty much done with that. It's not my budget. You see, I'm all over the place with my brain today. Okay, so I solved that. So I have a couple of ideas. I told you about wanting to maybe like be able to tie this. But what if I made it long enough that it could wrap around the journal? So let's say it was like this. And then you decided you wanted to do one of these wrappy things. You do know what a wrappy thing is, right? See, maybe I should leave it that long. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. But I have to rewrap it so I'm not just cutting it in the middle. All right, let me figure that out. Oh, I'm sitting here doing nothing else. So, and there is some discoloration, which I like. Okay, now. I'm going to cut this, nothing worse than being short, so I'm going to cut it that long. And I'm going to just like hold it up and fold it in half so that the streamers are even. Now on these half pages, you can kind of, well, you can do what you want. You can do it so it catches one hole, or you can do it so it catches, you know, two holes, the middle and the top, or the middle and the bottom. I'm going to do it so it catches two. And get this lined up and clip it. Get this out of the equation for now. Get that out of the equation. What is going on? Okay, so I can see like from a lot of my pages, I'm going to be from the green page is the green ledger paper is 8 and I don't know what that is. 7/8, 8 and 7/8. So I'm thinking that if I come in 1.5 from the top and bottom of the green, that should make it reach everything and not be like skimming on the edge of something. So here I'm just getting the papers where I want them. So I'll get that part on paper somewhere. And those of you who know, I can't help the crinkling. Everything's very crinkly. And I kind of enjoy it myself, but I know to watch it is another thing. Sounds like breakfast is here. Okay, so I don't usually do very well with the math of it all. I'm very happy eyeballing it. But here's my theory, is that the whole book is just about 10 inches. So the middle hole should be 5 inches. Right? Yeah, let's see. So let me try and get evenly spaced with my largest page from the top. That's a 1/2 inch. And that's over 1/2 inch. Let me lower it down a little bit more. It's like 5/8. Yeah, math. Yeah, that's like 5/8. So if I do that, you know, I'm really just eyeballing it now, right? I really don't know how to figure that out. I just make it up. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like it evenly spaced. So overall, if we do 10, right? I think that's about right. I think this is like 1 3/4 down. So we'll make it like 2 1/2. 2. 2. 5. 8. That's where I want my holes. And then what I'm going to do here is mark my 5, because this looks all right. And okay. Oh, I already have one there. Look at that. This was previously in another signature, and then I had to take it out because the book was getting too fat. So there's already a hole there. That's perfect. At least I'm consistent. Yeah. Yeah. I am not sure if I have my big a big needle, but what I have done in the past is I've modified a paper clip to be my needle. And while I don't want to do that necessarily, I can use a wire as a needle. You'll see. Okay, so just make it like that. And then once I get the thread in, I'm going to squash that down so it's really good. Okay, let me get null. Let me get null. Okay, so and this is where the blood, sweat, and tears comes in. This is where crying can happen. I am just going to mark this very lightly. Okay. Yeah. This paper is not super thick. There's nothing in here that's like crazy. That something like an awl can't penetrate. So just do that at the marks. And it's not hard. It's harder to do to show. And I'm somebody who always used to work like right in my laps. So it's probably even less natural for me. Oop, that one really went through. Okay, so that's that. See, now I don't even need my template. I could just use the holes. I do need to figure out, okay, I'm doing it directly in the middle of this. Here, here, here. See if I can get them. 7 will do. 7. 7. You know what? This book is wonky. This book is wonky, and that's okay. This all is almost too big, but that means it'll be very easy to sew. But now what I'm a little bit concerned about feeling it is whether the thread's going to cut through that, because there's really no reinforcement. So let me think a minute. Maybe I'll run some bias tape up there. Let me see if I have a neutral colored bias tape, or even I just want something that when the thread comes through, it doesn't want to pull right through the paperwork, the paper. Sorry, I'm just off. Well, this would work. That's neutral at least. Yes, I'm going to do it. These are old and so brittle. I don't know. This says khaki. I don't know what this costs now, but I think that said 85 cents. Now I don't know where, I won't know where my holes are once I glue this, but I wonder if the glue gods are going to be with me today. Not clogging my bottle. They're not. Okay, so you can see that the glue is coming through, and that was like a folded layer. You know how bias tape comes in folds. So that is, it's not really anything you can do about it. That's how the glue is. Yeah, I made those holes, and now I don't know where they are. I know where the middle one, though, is. It's at 5. So, if you know where the middle one is, somewhere right around there. Should I let it dry? Yes, I should. Am I going to? Probably not. All right. Okay, can you see that okay? Oh, Lord. I stopped for breakfast and my mojo, my momentum changed. Okay, so I think they say 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do extra in case I feel like I want to dangle, or I want to go around a couple times, make it strong. I mean, it doesn't really need to be that strong. Really, the paper is the thing that needs to be strong. All right, so now I'm going to just thread this. See? Oh, it's the same thing as the needle. And if anything, it's a little better because you can work it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in this middle one. And I'm just making sure that little tail where I twisted the needle, that gets through. Okay. I'm going to leave this long. Why? I don't know yet. Okay, now this I'm going to just help along by punching a hole so I'm not fraying anything. The dog's drinking water in the other room. I don't know if you can hear it. Drink, 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 drink. Oop. Okay, and then we said that the hole was at 5, right? Let's see if it actually is. There it is. What do you know? You know what? There we go. You know what? I saw Susan do this. You take your starting one and you put it under the clip. Aha! Thank you, Susan. I'll leave it really long. Okay. So now, I can kind of feel where it is, kind of. Yep. I'll do this other one while I'm at it. If you've ever done like embroidery or needlepoint, it's kind of like that, where you can feel where you need the needle to go. Okay. All right, all right. Now I think it should go up one. It's a little off. It's okay. It's just an angle. Oh Lord, that's not even in the project. Okay. It's all right. Okay, so now I'm going to come down and I'm going to go in the bottom hole. Right? Okay, so I went in, up to the top hole, up and down through the bottom hole. And you can see nothing's real tight right now. It'll get there. See, now I can see this was a little loose, so I want to get rid of any bunchy ups. There we go. No bunchy ups. And we are going to go back through. Oh, I better make sure I go back through the actual here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so through that. Right. Sorry, just a little not cooperating. It's that second layer, it's having trouble finding the hole. Lord help me. All right. It's funny because I can see the light shining through it. I just can't get the... There we go. There we are. Needle through it. Thank you, Lord. You did help me. Okay. Okay, that's through the cover. Now going through the fabric of the ribbon. Alright, so I'm just going to go through and kind of make sure everything's cinched well. Yeah. Okay. All right, so that was my makeshift needle. Obviously it wouldn't work if you were like going through a hardbound book or something like that. Now this is probably going to be in my way for a while, so what I might do is wind it up. I'm going to stick this in an envelope like this so that it's not constantly falling and being in my way. This can fall aboard. It doesn't need to be. Yeah. So that is that. See, I can tie it here, right, into a bow, or I can even just do this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's that, but then you can close it and do some type of wraparound. So I want to show you a couple things that I came across when I was looking through the cards. Well, actually, okay, so this is kind of funny. Last night, I had this flash in my mind that I had these cards with roses on it. And I found one of them. That's this one. Isn't that gorgeous? And that could just be a standalone, like tuck it in somewhere. I do have this, which I think was part of the garage sale buy of a whole box of different location cards. Look at this one. This one I got, I think, at the thrift store. I love her. She's sniffing the roses. So those are some new things. Yeah. I think that's all that I have that's new, honestly. Remaining things to do for the cover is I need to decide on this. I think I'm just going to glue it around. Because this is going to start having interference with the ribbon. When you open it, it's going to start doing things. So I think I'm going to glue it so it's whole. See, so watch this. Look, look, look. Look, look, look. Doesn't this look great? Or right. All right, I know it's slow going and I know I'm chopping it up, but it's how I can manage it. I might take these, I think I'm going to take these and put them in, do the same thing, put them in an envelope on each side so they don't start getting ratty. I'm going to cut this. Let's see, 2 envelopes. And so I'm just doing this, winding it up. Because, you know, I have enough clutter issues, so this is just a way to manage it and chill. Gotta manage your mess. Okay. These are not permanent places for these things. They're just kind of an inspiration for me. Oh, that looks nice. That looks nice. Kind of a nice way to cheer yourself on. Oh, it's a good thing I did that pocket, isn't it? Okay, we'll put you there, and we'll put you in the back. Now, we'll go to the back. See, now I can start just putting my stuff. This is the part where the journal starts creating itself. I feel like the construction part is probably the hard part for me. And then just figuring out where everything goes. But it comes. It'll come together. And a journal can be done whenever you decide it's going to be done. It doesn't have to have a load of stuff in it. And it doesn't have to have only a little stuff in it. It has to have whatever you want in it. See that miscoloring? I like that. I think it was probably stored with markers or some other fabric that was not color safe. Yay! I feel like I did very little today, right now, but I feel like I'm in a different step now. Now I can feel it and rub it. Oh yeah, we found that too, so who knows? Who knows where it'll show up? That could be its very own belly band. Or, okay, see, now this is where I start going a little crazy. Let me see. It's not, but you know that short piece of Dusty Rose? Watch. I don't know if you can do both of these. Oh, Lord. I could weave this in here. See, if I did this and then had this on the first page, that'd be nice, right? I could even grommet that. Maybe. I don't know about grommeting that far. Can I grommet that far? Let's see. I can grommet that far. Do I want to do that on the front page? Maybe. Okay. I thought I was going to finish up, but I think I'm going to do this one quick project. I could braid this, or I can just leave it and twist it maybe. There you go. I think maybe I'm just avoiding going to work right now. So let me tell you a couple of updates. Let's see. Last week I had a colonoscopy. Last week I had a upper endoscopy. I have a history of like gastritis and bad stomach. So they've been watching that, and everything's fine with that. But I had said, you know, I have I keep having this pain in my abdomen, which I have said before. Maybe it's just the way I digest. I don't know. And so then they immediately was like, oh, well, we'll go ahead and schedule a colonoscopy and a CT scan. So I've had all of those done. I've got all kinds of IV bruises and things like that. And all of it's fine, so that's good. And then after that, I went up to Pittsburgh to drop a vehicle off with my eldest child. Pittsburgh, we're from, well, we lived a while in Pennsylvania, and the Pennsylvania roads absolutely rust out and eat up vehicles like nobody's business. And their car had gotten to the point where it wouldn't pass inspection. So we said, why don't we look for a vehicle for you here, and then we'll run it up. Because here in North Carolina, you have cars from 1980 something that don't have rust on it, so, which is very impressive. We were very impressed by that. We're a family that goes through cars a lot and switches cars a lot, so we're not super sentimental about holding on to certain vehicles. So anyway, we found one and we ran that up. So that was 2 days. That was 7 to 8 hours each way. So now I feel like I'm not caught up with anybody's videos. I'm not caught up with anything really. So the last thing I want to do is get in the car and start driving. But it must be done because now I need to make up for days away. All right. Am I going to grommet it, or am I going to just... And should I make it tight, loose? Should I just glue it? And maybe I'll do it higher so that it's not interfering with the ribbon. Or maybe I won't even do it on this page. So I'm going to leave that decision for another time. And now I've got just talked myself into getting up and getting my butt in gear. So I'll see you next time for embellishments.